Classes in session, hitting the books, MLB edition of the show, Tuesday, April 15th. Ian Cameron and Connor Mack back in the house with you, ready to talk another MLB card. Let's just jump right into it. We'll begin with Arizona and Miami. We've got Merrill Kelly on the mound for the Diamondbacks and Gillespie on the mound here for the Marlins. We've got Arizona minus 160 road favorites, 9 the total. Miami might be alive here in this spot. I mean, Merrill Kelly, I haven't been impressed with the way he started, and a couple of his outings, even at home, haven't been nearly as effective. And he's someone that we usually think is pitches pretty good at home, but we know on the road he's not really been nearly as good. The Marlins, meanwhile, with Gillespie, it's what are you going to get out of him? That's probably going to end up being the big question. But there has been some vulnerabilities from what I've seen, like I mentioned, from Kelly, 7.2 ERA. It's been a rough start to the year. He's given up 13 runs over 14 innings. Not great. Gillespie, in his starts, he's given up 7 runs in 14 innings. Not bad. He's been a tough luck. The Marlins have lost all 3 of his starts, but he's pitched okay in all 3 of them. So just with the way Kelly's been struggling here, and the fact that the Marlins do have a winning home record here, 6-4. Gillespie's been all right. I think, Marlins taking a shot with the home dog here is not the worst thing you could do. C-Mac, how about you? Anything you like here? Arizona, Miami.
Yeah, looking at this, I mean, what do we get from Kelly today? The one awful road start with the Yankees. It's how he's been. Decent pitcher. Obviously, he had, the last couple of years have been better. And he's got multiple pitches. That's why he works well, especially that changeup when it really gets going. That's why he's so good. This number's big here. I think the Diamondbacks overall maybe a little bit the better team. This lineup, I don't think is great. I think it's okay. Smith in the 3-hole. I think there's value. Marlins, at least for now. Mervis, this guy's hit jacks.
Yep.
Sanchez, this team playing well. Gillespie, if he could get 4 or 5, that'd be big. The problem with it is a little bit the walks. His starts have been okay. He's had a problem in the minors with the long ball. So maybe there's runs, but I thought there's value with him at least here, especially first 5. I don't know about this Marlins bullpen a little bit, but at plus 125, 130, I think this Marlins team's got a shot here, first 5.
All right, Washington, Pittsburgh. We've got Mitch Keller on the mound here for the Pirates and Joel Irvin here for Washington. Minus 135 home favorites, 8.5 the total. I definitely think advantage Pirates because Irvin's not been good for the Nationals, and he's someone I want to fade. So I lean Pirates in some form, maybe team total over. I lean to the full game over too. I told you yesterday I thought that total was a little bit low, even with Skeens on the mound, and it flew over the total, Nationals and Pirates. I kind of lean coming right back to the over here. I don't trust either pitcher. Keller's okay, not great. Irvin hasn't been very good. So Pirates is the lean. I just don't love laying a puck, minus 135 with this team, because their bullpen at times can be an issue. But I do think an advantage Pittsburgh over as well. I like in this one. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, high 4s, but the wind's blowing dead out here. 18 to 20 miles an hour in this game. So I get why you think there could be runs. It's tough for me to trust these lineups and the pitchers. Like the dominating Keller is, he goes 8, gives up nothing. He's like unreal. And then at times he can get hit around. I think he could pitch well here at home again. Pirates with a big one yesterday. I'd lean their way. But to me, the value a little bit more is with the Nats, catching them at this price, because I just think these teams are a little bit even. Maybe the Nats a little bit better overall, but I'm off here.
All right. Yeah, threat of rain, Justin. Good point. So we'll see if this game gets marred potentially by a delay. All right, Seattle and Cincinnati. We've got Luis Castillo and Nick Lodolo, the very impressive lefty, on the mound here for the Reds. Seattle minus 115 road favorites, 8.5 the total. I like Cincy here. I'm going to take them first 5 full game money line split. I really, really like what I'm seeing out of Nick Lodolo. I think he's been very impressive. I think the Seattle lineup can be susceptible, especially on the road. I don't think they hit nearly as well. And it's a good matchup. I think Lodolo can kind of neutralize them. I know the Reds bullpen, like many bullpens in this damn sport, they're kind of up and down, but I do think Lodolo can do a nice job here early on. Mariners, too, let's not forget, travel to the Midwest here for the first game of this series. That's not easy. So I think the Reds do have an advantage, and I like Lodolo. It's not that Castillo's been bad. Castillo obviously is a very capable pitcher, and he's returning here to a place where he started his career. But I like the way Lodolo's going right now and the price that you can get with him and the Reds in this spot. C-Mac, how about you?
Yeah, I got to be on the Reds here with Lodolo. I mean, I like it full game, but first 5, it's not too much more here. I mean, it's basically minus 110 now. This is the biggest thing. Mariners on the road after having a good homestand and a lot of their guys, hitting the ball, Cal Raleigh, a few others. But when I see this lineup, it's awful. Like when they're at home, hitting home runs could be, but like Moore's a guy. These guys' averages are all like 200. That means Rodriguez, Rosarena, they really need to get going. But Garver, Cal Raleigh, all these, man, you can't be hitting 200 in the bigs or less than that. All these guys, down the line, Solana, it could be really rough for the Mariners. So yeah, with Lodolo here, and the Mariners not hitting lefties. I think they're hitting $188. I know we're just starting out the year, kind of giving these out a little over 2 weeks, but yeah, I'll take the Reds here.
Giants and Phillies. We've got the Phillies minus 160 home favorites, 8 the total. I gave you the wrong best bet, unfortunately. Kansas City was very disappointing. I was shocked that they got held to 1 run. I went with them as a best bet with their team total. I should have went with something in this game because we hit everything here. Giants money line, Giants team total, full game over. I said Taijuan Walker's going to blow up, and man alive, did he blow up last night for the Philadelphia Phillies there as the Giants got to him. You got Verlander and Luzardo on the mound here. I've watched Verlander in these first few starts with San Francisco. Too much hard hit contact he's given up. I don't like what I'm seeing. I think he's vulnerable here in this ballpark. Now, this lineup has been kind of underwhelming lately, the Phillies, but I think they can match up well here. I think the Phillies in the first 5 are worth a look. Luzardo, I think, is kind of capable here for pitching a nice first half of the game here for the Phillies in this spot. I would lean to the over again with these two teams because, again, Verlander, to me, there's some red flags with Verlander here and someone that I'm not rushing to bet here in this spot. Now, the problem is you're not getting a great price with the Phillies, and the money has come in on Philadelphia because this was lower than it is right now. So I don't know if the value is great with the Phillies, but I can understand why they've taken the money. I've got some signs when I watch Verlander pitch right now. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely not a bargain with the Phillies. I mean, when's Verlander going to start pitching well? It already started to happen 2 years ago or so. And last year he was in and out.
People have to remember.
I mean, he's almost 43. Yeah. And last year he was 5-6 with a 5-something ERA. I think that could be more of the regular with him this year, but he could go out and eat some innings. Luzardo's been very good. He's been good here at home. And if he doesn't walk people, he'll have a great outing. But if he walks people, maybe the Giants could get to him. I can see how people want it. I mean, yeah, yesterday was put 6 up there quick in the second inning. But I think this is definitely a Philly spot. You're just not getting a ton of value. I think the over, but I think if you like the Phillies, maybe even the team total here. But
Cleveland and Baltimore. We've got Old Man Morton, Charlie Morton for Baltimore, Logan Allen, the lefty for Cleveland. Baltimore minus 150 home favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the under. You know, I wish it was a different pitcher for Cleveland. I'm not a big fan of Logan Allen by any stretch of the imagination, but he's been 3.6 ERA. He's actually been a little bit better than I expected coming into the year. He is off a better start last time, although it was against Chicago. But more than anything, I am totally fine with taking Cleveland at this price against Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton, to me, and this Baltimore package right now should not be laying a price like this. Baltimore's not playing great baseball. They're 6-9. I think people have to remember that. They're only 3-7 in their last 10 games. They haven't had good bullpen relief work either. This bullpen hasn't nearly pitched as well as I expected. The lineup has been way more hit or miss than I thought, and their starting pitching hasn't been great. And Morton's been part of the problem for Baltimore. I mean, he really hasn't had a good start yet this year. He's given up 13 runs, 17 hits in 13.1 innings over his first 3 starts. To me, that's not a guy that's deserving of a price tag like this, minus 150 right now. So give me the Guardians here. First 5 full game money line split, maybe even a Guardians team total over here. Now, again, Cleveland's lineup can be a little dicey at times, but man, I think with the way Morton's going right now, this is like a Verlander part 2, a guy that, Father Time is knocking on his door. I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I think Cleveland's a live dog. More so the fact that I don't think Morton and Baltimore should be favored by this kind of a price at the moment. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, what do we get here from Logan Webb? That's been pretty good. When I went back 2 years ago, 2033, he pitched well here, 7 innings, no runs. And last year, he only had 1 start against him here, and he got drilled for 6 runs. And to start the year, the O's haven't been good versus lefties. The last few years, the numbers have been pretty good. I think we get runs in this game. I hate that it's kind of 9 now. Like if you got the 8.5, even with a little bit of juice, minus 120 earlier, I think 25 would have been solid. So I just leaned the over in this game. I see the value here with Cleveland. They definitely need to score runs, but I think Baltimore, 6 and 9, they need to get going. But Westberg, I like Mountcastle finally a home run the other day. He has solid numbers as RBI. But Adley Rutschman, I always like him from the right side too. But he's got a little more jack, and his average is better.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So I had to take his piece. It's crazy high. His RBI is plus 205. His homer's 8-1. So a little Adley Rutschman here today.
All right, Boston, Tampa Bay. We've got Walker Buehler for Boston, Ryan Pepio for Tampa Bay. Rays minus 130, home favorites 9 the total. I'm coming back to Tampa. I mean, that was one of the rocking chair winners of the night for me. I said yesterday, I didn't trust Tanner Houck. I thought certainly Boz was the much better pitcher, and it played out that way. It was a dominant win for now. Sometimes when you put up that many runs like Tampa Bay did last night, you're always a bit concerned coming back to them the next day. But I think they have a pitching advantage here. I mean, I haven't been impressed with Buehler early in the season. He's been fighting his command a little bit, control. And I think when you look at it, he's a little bit better in his last start against Toronto, but he also got his way out of trouble multiple times. Blue Jays had a chance to really get a big crooked number on the board, and they missed on a couple of opportunities. But Walker Buehler was dancing with fire in that game. Still don't think he's been great to start the year. And obviously I'm a big fan of Pepio for the Rays. I think he's a really good pitcher. I'll come back to Tampa again. They treated me well last night. I'll lay the $130 with the Rays. C-Mac, what do you think?
I think Pepio's got to be better. And for a guy who doesn't give up homers, to give up 3 to the Angels, that last start he had. And he's had the last few starts with both 3 walks, a little bit of control. When he's pinpoint and the curve's working, he's very, very good. But it hasn't really been there to start the year. So, and when the Red Sox, Buehler on the road, I just can't take him until those bats get going. I have to stay way away because it's been off. It seems like since all those runs they scored against the Cardinals, it's kind of been nothing for them. Look in this game, Caminero, the young 21-year-old kid, we talked about him, another jack. I think he's live here against Walker Buehler in that ballpark.
I wouldn't argue with that. He's been hitting the ball and seeing it very well, no doubt, for the Rays, and really becoming a fan of that ballpark he is as well, the way he's been hitting there at Steinbrenner Field. All right, speaking of Steinbrenner, the team he owned all those years, the New York Yankees taking on the Kansas City Royals. We've got Waka and Fried, the pitching matchup. Yankees minus 240, home favorites at Yankee Stadium, 8.5 the total. I don't have much on this game. I mean, Kansas City kind of let me down. It's shocking to see them not do much of anything against Carlos Carrasco last night. I'm not sure I'm ready to trust them. If they couldn't hit Carrasco, am I ready to trust them against a better pitcher in Max Fried? Probably not. It's too big of a price to take the Yankees. Waka, though, is someone that's capable. I don't know if he's going to pitch as well throughout the course of this year, but we'll see how he fares tonight. This is just a game I don't have much of an opinion on at all, quite honestly. Not a strong one. C-Mac, what do you think here? Kansas City, New York.
Yeah, it's the same type weather here, kind of with the Pirates, a little bit of wind blowing dead out. There could be rain. Looks like it maybe goes around them. Yeah. In this, I think the game's going to be good to go. There could be a small delay. This is a guy I think that's 40. He's only 33. He came up when he was 21, basically, in Waka. He had those few good years, and then he had some down years in 2019 type area. But 11-2, 14-4, 13-8, all in the low 3 ERA. Man, I think he could have a solid outing here. So this one's tough, like I talked about. Wind blowing out. I think a few Yankees. Talked about Goldschmidt. I know Bellinger's kind of got a sore back. I'd look to him, but I'm going to stay off in this one.
I'm going to keep this.
And what do we get Fried? Fried's been great.
Yes,
I mean, he's been so.
He's been the
I don't know.
This rotation hasn't been great for the Yankees, but Fried's been the guy that's kind of held it together here.
He's been money
with the way he's been. No question about it. This next game, Atlanta-Toronto, -110 both sides, 7.5 the total. Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays, Spencer Schwellenbach for the Braves. Two guys that I think are pitching very well. I think this is a low-scoring battle. I know Atlanta busted out offensively yesterday, and finally Easton Lucas came back down to earth. And meanwhile, Grant Holmes pitched very well for the Braves. I think the Blue Jays are going to struggle against Schwellenbach. These good elite arms can sometimes be a problem for the Blue Jays lineup. But Gausman's been really good so far to begin the season. I think runs are few and far between here. I got a first 5 under at 4.5 at -120. Yeah, I had to lay a little price, but to get a 4.5 on a first 5 under, I thought was very good in this game. But that's where I would go. First 5 under. You could go full game under, even though I've got a little bit less faith in both bullpens. But I think it's going to be a kind of a pitcher's game. I like both pitchers. They're both in good form. Schwellenbach for the Braves and Kevin Gausman here for the Blue Jays. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is another. I just the 7.5. I don't really like Schwellenbach's been really, really good. I mean, do we get the good Gausman or the bad Gausman? I mean, he's been pretty good to start the year, and you haven't been able to trust these two lineups. Braves finally, score 4 runs there quick yesterday. I like them. I kind of like them again. Can they string something together? They haven't been able to win back-to-back games, it seems like, all year long at all. So I'm off here in the end. Lean Braves.
All right, next up, we've got the Athletics versus the Chicago White Sox. Jeffrey Springs for the A's, and we've got it's Sean Burke here for the White Sox. We've got Atlanta -150 road favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. I think this is a potential over. When you look at both of these pitch, I know Springs is very capable, but still 4.2 ERA. He's had some issues with the home run ball, and you could definitely say that about Sean Burke for the White Sox. He's given up 3 home runs in his last 2 starts. He's given up 9 runs in his last 7.1 innings. So rather than trust, I would lean Oakland here, but I didn't want to lay -150. You could take Oakland run line -1, get him down to around even money. I think the A's do win this game, but I think it goes over 7.5. Not loving what I'm seeing from the 2 starters, and the total's low enough. I think it can go over the number here. C-Mac, how about you here? Athletics and White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, 7.5, another game. This is wind blowing out. I mean, it's not 90 degrees, sunshine or anything, but this one's pretty interesting. I think it could too. Just Burke, he's not very good, but he trusts the A's to score some runs here. And one guy I want to back for A's. I mean, that's why he's this price is Springs. And when I backed him a lot the last couple of years, he's been solid. So yeah, I think an A's team total here is a good look.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about it too. You could go -1 run line or just take the Athletics team total over. I would sign off on that too. Probably worth a look here. All right, next up, we've got the Mets and the Twins. We've got Tyler McGill for the Mets and Bailey Ober for the Twins. Even money, both sides, 8 the total in this game. This price looks real cheap on the Mets. It really does. McGill's been in solid form to begin the year. Bailey Ober, historically, has actually been pretty good at home. I guess that would be the one concern you would have about taking the Mets. He's been bad on the road, but he is at home, obviously, here for this start. But again, comes back to the same shit with the Minnesota Twins. And I backed them last night in a great scheduling spot, and they couldn't hit worth a shit. And that continues to be the problem for the Minnesota Twins. They cannot hit right now, this team. So this is probably an under lean for sure in this game. You can go first 5 full game. McGill's been pitching well. Ober historically pitches better at Target Field. But I think the Mets they'll find a way to scratch out some runs and win this game. And I don't have any confidence at the moment the Twins can do that. C-Mac, how about you here? Mets, Twins.
Tell the bats with no Twins. Just, until it gets different, then I'll put my money on them. 5-12. Miguel, a little bit on the road, isn't the same guy. Can they get to him? a little bit early in this game. Maybe. I still just, this lineup has just been ugly. Buxton hasn't done much. He had a homer the other day, but nothing's strung together too. Just especially with men on base. They haven't even got men on base. Scoring any runs, it seems like. So, but I think this game, yeah, there isn't a ton of runs unless one of these teams breaks out. I think Ober could be decent here. Give you 5 innings.
All right, Detroit, Milwaukee. Jack Flaherty, Quinn Priester, your pitching matchup. Detroit minus 115, road favorites, 8 the total. I'm taking the Tigers again. I thought Tigers were cheap last night, and I think they're cheap again tonight. Flaherty, I think, can neutralize this lineup. Now, Priester's actually pitched all right for the Brewers. Let's give him some credit. Guy that came over from the Pittsburgh Pirates. But like I said, I don't know if that's sustainable for him, if it's going to be something that's going to continue long term. Tigers, to me, I think it's pretty cheap to back them here. So I'm going to come right back with them again here. First 5 and full game money line split. CMAC, Tigers, Brewers.
Yeah, Brewers. Obviously, they were cool with Scooball. I knew that. But Alexander was a worry, and maybe just their team total under was better. But I didn't think the Tigers, a little bit more this year, it's been their offense. Can that continue? We talked about with Carpenter and Green. I don't know throughout the year if that'll happen. Because still, like, the bottom of their lineup with Baez is still pretty rough.
Sketchy.
7, 8, 9. Yeah. Priester, he's been solid. This game leans to me under, but Flaherty, a little bit different guy. He already has a road start, too. I had it up. Forget who it was, though. The Dodgers, yeah, right away in that game, and he was decent there. But we know his troubles he's had. And this seems like a better spot after just getting blanked by one of the best pitchers in the league last night for the Brewers. But Tigers keep winning and winning there the last few years in these in this matchup. So I don't blame you.
All right, next up, we continue along. Astros and Cardinals, Hunter Brown and Eric Fetty. The matchup, Houston minus 130, road favorites. The total here at 7.5. I think it's a nice spot here for the Astros. They obviously had a tough night last night. I think they got the pitching edge here. Don't be fooled by the fact that last time we saw Hunter Brown, they lost. The bullpen fucked it up for him. He pitched great. He pitched a beauty against Seattle and should have won that game, but the bullpen coughed it up. He did pitch very well. We know he's a flamethrower. He's a strikeout machine. And I think that's a good matchup against this free-swinging Cardinals lineup. So I like this spot for Houston to bounce back, and I'm a Hunter Brown. I think Hunter Brown's going to have a pretty good season for the Astros. So this is another first 5 full game money line split for me. Houston bouncing back. And I haven't been impressed with Fetty. I think Fetty's got only one way to go, and that's down. I don't think he's going to be nearly as good as he was last year. What do you think here, C-Mac? Houston, St. Louis.
Yeah, he is home, but Fetty off one of the, that great start that he had. The thing, he's got to be a good pitcher, and he's learned to do it because he just doesn't strike people out. He just doesn't have that stuff. He's got to be crafty.
Yeah.
Fetty, my guy here from Vegas, UNLV, was very, very good there. Hunter Brown has been excellent so far. Still the problem with him is like early on, like first inning or first through the order. That he just he's one of those guys. Barrios, there's like a list of 10 or even he's top 5. It's like get through that and then he cruises. It seems like the next 5, 6 innings. So it's always interesting if a team could get a jump on him early. But I think the Astros today are a little bit better. Jordan, look, and I think this guy, he's just 2 for 6 off him. Paredes you had yesterday. Price is crazy with him today. RBI 230. Yep. Jacks plus 800. I think price is way crazy there. Got to take him.
Yeah, I think it is another good price on Isaac Paredes in this matchup here for the Houston Astros. All right, we move along now. Next up, we've got the LA Angels and Texas Rangers. Yusei Kikuchi for the Angels on Tyler Mahle here for Texas. Texas minus 125, home favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the under in this game. Texas obviously back home. They were on the road. 6-1 they are at home. They've struggled on the road, but they've been very good here at Globe Life Field so far this season. Tyler Mahle gets this start. He's actually been solid, 2 runs in 13.2 innings. Now, can he keep this up? But Texas is 3-0. I kind of lean to the Texas side here. Kikuchi's had home run problems. And one thing Texas can do, especially in this ballpark, is swing those home run balls. And Kikuchi, again, 10 runs in 18 innings. Hasn't been a great welcome to the Angels for Yusei Kikuchi. So this is probably a lean to Texas, maybe Texas team total over, maybe even the full game over, because I don't know if Tyler Mahle's going to keep doing this. I keep thinking he's a guy that's going to give up 3-4 runs per start, not shut you down like he has. The one thing about the Angels is the lineup's gotten off to a pretty solid start to the season. So the total's going up as we speak, 8.5 to 9. I think I understand why. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, over in this game as long as they have 8.5, or just isolate. I think the Rangers team total. I think they get to Kikuchi. Some of these guys not the craziest average, but they've got them like Garcia 3 for 9 with a couple homers. Simeon. It seems like back here at home, the offense, Josh Young, Seek, they could really get going here today. So I think they could get to Kikuchi, and I think the Angels could get to him. I mean, he's an unreal start to the year. He doesn't strike out a bunch. So when he does that, he can't walk people.
His advanced numbers are higher than his ERA. That's always a red flag.
All that stuff, yeah, that you're looking at in a game. So when you can't blow by someone, he could get hit around here. So I think this game goes over.
All right, Cubs and Padres. We've got Imanaga Davida. It's nice to say that again. Imanaga on the mound here for the Cubs. Randy Vasquez for the Padres. Cubs minus 150 road favorites. 8 the total. Shaded to the over in this game. Look, Imanaga's a really good pitcher. I don't dispute that. But this team is undefeated at Petco. And the Cubs are taking money hand over fist. Like, people know it's a foregone conclusion that the Cubs are going to win tonight. And this Padres team hasn't lost a home game yet this year. So at this price, I could only back San Diego. And look, let's give Randy Vasquez some credit. He's actually pitched pretty solid. Been pretty good to begin this season for the San Diego Padres in the first few starts of the year. And we know how good the Padres have been overall, and especially here at Petco. So I'm not laying this price now with Chicago. I wasn't on this San Diego side initially, but now with this price getting up to as high as it is, I feel I got to take a shot here with the undefeated home team. This price is just getting a little bit out of hand, in my opinion. C-Mac, what do you think?
Well, it's just a classic, spot. It's so good with him here, but the Padres, just keep hitting the ball so well with the teeth. The over was easy last night. Vasquez, this is a guy. He strikes out nobody, and he walks 3 or 4. That's the problem. So I think you like the Cubs. You take them first 5 minus the half in this game. Don't deal with it. That's where I back them with him on the mound. So look that way, but after that, nothing. I'd only be on the under. I love the over yesterday, and it's tough with these two lineups, but I think this game could stay under here.
Yeah, I posted that Cubs-Padres over yesterday as a play on Twitter. Hopefully everyone saw that. But, like I said, I really liked that over there, and we got there pretty easily with the Rockies and the Cubs and the Padres yesterday. Rockies and Dodgers, final game up here on this Tuesday night slate. We got Feltner for the Rockies and Knack on the mound for the Dodgers. Dodgers minus 320 home favorites. I'm glad I stayed off that game last night because I said I leaned to the Dodgers team total, but it was over 5.5. And sure enough, they only score 5. I leaned to the full game over in that game, 5-3 final score. It didn't go over the total. So I felt like it could be one of those 4-3, 5-3 kind of deals, and it was. So neither of my leans there would have hit with that Dodgers game. That being said, there's some dubious pitching here in this one because you look at Feltner. On the road this year, we'll see how he fares. Now, this year he's gotten off to a solid start, but I look back at some of these games he's pitched against the Dodgers, and he's had a tough time. He's given up
most of them.
runs.
He's had a couple of good,
Yeah, he had one good start in Colorado. You're right, down the stretch last year. But weren't the Dodgers resting guys, if I'm not mistaken? Wasn't that when they had clinched already, September 29th? I think they had clinched everything already. But when he faced a full-strength Dodgers lineup last year, he gave up 6 runs in 5 innings, and the year before that, he gave up 5 runs in 3 innings. So Feltner has had some rough times, rough starts against the Dodgers. Knack has not been great when you look at it. You look at his start against Washington, 5 runs, 2.1 innings, control issues, 4 walks, 1 home run allowed in that start as well. So this might be the night to take an over in a Dodger game. Last night, you fell short. Tonight, it might get there, in my opinion. So over 8.5, I'm interested. C-Mac, Rockies, Dodgers.
Yeah, and last night, Dodgers team total doesn't get over. It's 5.5. You can't mess with those too much. You got to really love it And I said there won't be a ton. There will be still, but I think the second half there'll be just a lot of 5.5s in the game. Feltner's been pretty good on the road. Most of his starts though against the Dodgers, man, he's gotten lit up. What do we get from Knack? Is this the time? Look, can the Rockies score some fucking runs? I know they got a couple, but man, this lineup. Bryant's now out. Not that he was fucking doing much. Nobody was in this lineup. Doyle's been out. Hernandez looks like I think he's going to be out again here for the Dodgers. He's been sick. He's day to day. I don't know if he goes. He has good numbers off Feltner. And see if Knack he could control, this lineup at least. That's how bad they are. Especially he has that changeup that works so well when it is top pitch in this game. So I mean, but to me, like free bet or something like this is one where it's just the number's crazy. It's take the Rockies. First 5 or plus a half, you still get a massive number. I don't even know what that is. It's got to be like plus 140, probably plus half a run.
Yeah, half a run.
That up today.
This game is still a really good price. Like we're not even talking money line anymore. We're talking half a run plus a half.
So you get tie game.
Yeah, tie game after first 5 plus a half is plus 130.
Plus 130. Okay, I thought it was 140. Okay, yeah. Still, I think that might have a little bit of value.
No doubt. All right, there you go. That's the Tuesday card, which means it's time now for Jack of the Day. C-Mac, we'll go to you first. Home run props that you're liking taking a shot with here tonight.
Yeah, the whole thing with Hernandez, I don't know if he's going to be in the line. So that's just a wait. I talked about it. Rutschman, plus 800. Paredes, plus 800. Both guys. Massive 8-to-1s. Jacks, those two guys.
Yeah, those are good looks. I agree with that. That's
I like Rooker. Some of these these games where wind's blowing out. Like I talked about Bellinger's back sore. I didn't go there. And some of the A's guys, like their numbers are just way down. Like he's like 310 or 3 for a homer. I can't take a number that low.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Yeah, like I said, that was those are good prices though. Definitely liking that. And you're right. You want more often than not. I'm not looking for the plus. I'm not looking for Aaron Judge. Let's put it that way, because Aaron Judge every game is like plus 200, plus 250 for him to hit a home run these days. I'm looking for a little more bang for my buck than that. When I look,
we got Reynolds 10-1 that day. I didn't have the best day of ours, but he fucking went yard. My guy comes through. Ian Happinen always seem to come through.
Yeah, I'm going to go with I like Taylor Ward tonight for the Angels. I think he's definitely capable. Home runs, by the way, in 4 of the last 5 games now for the LA Angels. Taylor Ward's been swinging a good bat. You can get plus 450 on him. You mentioned Caminero. That's a good one. He's on a 3-game streak. I'm going to go to Michael Busch. He hit one last night for the Chicago Cubs.
I told you when he gets going. Well, we cashed Mookie Betts.
Yep.
Jack of the Day. If he can get going, look for him again. And Busch, when it seems like that last year he had a tear where it seems like he had 20 homers in that month, something crazy like that.
Well,
and then he died out. Yeah, he died out at the end of the year. I know. I think he's had 3 in a row, right?
Yeah, 3 straight games in a row with a home run, and plus,
he got robbed.
Yeah,
that game for a second. In that game, he got robbed in dead center.
That's right, by a great diving catch. I remember that in center field, or else he would have had one in that game too. So I'll give you 2 tonight: Michael Busch, Cubs, and I'll give you Taylor Ward for the LA Angels. There you go, a couple of home run props. Jack of the Day here for this Tuesday, for this Tuesday MLB slate. All right, best bet time to wrap things up. C-Mac, best bet for Tuesday, Major League Baseball. What do you got?
Yeah, I was going to go Twin Mets under, but give this to me here. Plus 102. I took it earlier. Reds today. Give me a little Dolo.
There you go. Nick Lodolo for the Cincinnati Reds. That's a good side. That's definitely on my card as well. C-Mac with his best bet, Cincinnati. My best bet, I'm going to go Houston Astros. I like Hunter Brown, a nice spot. They had a tough opener there against the St. Louis Cardinals. I like them in a bounce-back spot here against Eric Fede in that matchup. Minus 122 is the best price. Houston, I think they bounce back and they get the win against St. Louis. So Houston Astros, minus 122 for my best bet for this Tuesday. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button on the way out. Philly Eagle Flyer, Ross Pitts, Old E, Daniel, Nick, Justin McKelvey, Ross Pitts, Timothy Hake, KP, Old E, Gerald Jones. Like I say, everyone that's joined us in the chat, we appreciate all you guys tuning in for this edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. We have 2 more shows this week. We'll be back tomorrow on Wednesday at the same time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and then Friday, once again, at 5 p.m. Eastern. Only Thursday this week with no show. So shout out to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're here with MLB shows multiple times a week for the next few months. Baseball's the focus now. So make sure you're here and locked in to the
and it'll be even more. We could dig into the games a little bit more on some of these days. Some of these days, there'll be a few day games where we might have like 7 or 8, and we could go into a little bit longer analysis. Still got playoff basketball.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. We give you a nice brisk pace for now with the show. We'll slow it down a little bit once we get past the.
I think the pace is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
People want
we say what we need to say. We get the picks out. We don't need to go on and on with 3 minutes of analysis on each game. So I like the pace we're going with.
Yeah, what he's doing for his, for his wife and or whatever's going on. You want the whole.
That's for me that I've had to cut down on how much I, break down a game. But we've done a nice job of that. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. No question about it. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will see you again tomorrow on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.